Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us tonight on an amazing summer day. We really lucked out with the past 3 days. Finally, it's actually feeling like almost summer, could be spring. And to begin this evening, I would like to start with a bit of a meditation, just to help at the end of the week. I always find it's crazy hard to get into that nice, resting, peaceful mindset. So if you'll bear with me, take a moment to take a nice deep breath, close your eyes. And as you're breathing, just acknowledge each breath. When you're breathing in, just think in. And as you're breathing out, simply think out. Don't try to change it. Just keep it nice and natural. And on the next breath, we're going to count to 5. And we're going to hold the breath for 2 or 3 seconds. And you're going to breathe out through your mouth nice and slowly. You're going to try and count to 10. So here we go. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a nice deep breath in the middle. We're going to do that 2 more times. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go back to just breathing naturally for a few moments. And as you open your eyes and join us back together to begin our Shabbat service, I am going to call upon Arlene, who is going to lead us in the lighting of the Shabbat candles.
We read responsibly from the top of page 21. This Shabbat sheds light upon us, light for the days to come. We have leisure by which to see the world with new and grateful eyes. We have time now to look inward, and now we are free to embrace family and friends to make our lives simpler and more complete.
We think of our homes and those we love. When we call to mind the duties and affections of home, how greatly are all blessings enriched, all cares and sorrows softened.
May the hearts of parents and children always be turned to one another, that our homes may be our sanctuaries of love and devotion. May we use this Shabbat to bring happiness to our family life and blessing to our people. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We continue in the middle of page 27 with reading Daled. Who am I that she should wish to spend the day with me? I try out my strengths, cook, move dust, casually insensitive to all the songs reminding me that she, the queen, in diamond ruby emerald glow tiara, would come to grace my table. She comes no matter how the week was spent, in joy or in silliness, yet she comes, and I am her host, laying a linen flowered tablecloth that is white, that is all the colors of the rainbow. Come, my Shabbat queen, embodiment of worlds to be. Your gracious kindness is our breath of life, and though we once, twice, all too often fail to say, how beautiful your cape, how lovely your hair, your Shekhinah eyes, we will not always be so lax, apathetic to your grace, your presence. Touch us again this week with your most unique love's tenderness, and we shall sing of your songs, dance our dances in your honor, and sigh for your sighs of longing, peace, and hope. We join together on page 29 with Lechadodi, singing 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. And we continue on page 34 with How Can I Sing? Frank, would you lead us?
How can I sing with thee at night when
How can I sing of heaven and earth when it's God who decreed them?
How can I sing of mountains and hills when it's God who planted them?
How can I sing of seas and deserts when it's God who built them?
And how can I sing of earth and its fullness when it's God who made them weak?
I shall sing to God who fashioned all and is beyond all. It is to God I shall sing. We rise together spiritually or physically as we turn to page 36 for the call to prayer for Barchu. I'd like to take this opportunity, as I'm sure you can see, we have an extra additional person up here today. Thank you so much, Sonia, for joining us. It makes a world of a difference to have a guitar with me. And it's so nice to hear multiple voices. It's weird and amazing and nice after 2 years, 2.5 years. We are going to continue on page 37. Arlene, would you lead us for prayer, Bet?
God of all the world, how insignificant we are in your sight and how minute in your presence. You are creator of a universe so vast that the effort to conceive it overwhelms the mind. Our mightiest telescopes stand but a corner of it. The rays of light that reach us from distant galaxies began their journey long before we came to be. Counted from the first creation, the earth we live on was born but yesterday, and we made our appearance on it only a moment ago.
When you consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you have established, what is humanity that you are mindful of us? What are we mortals that you consider us? Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv arabim. We continue at the top of page 38 with Ahavat Olam. ושרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Please be seated. Mike, would you lead us on page 42 under prayer Aleph?
All this we hold to be true and certain. The eternal alone is our God. There is none else, and we are Israel, God's people.
Our divine protect and deliver us from the hands of the oppressors, and save us from the visit times.
You perform wonders without number, marvels that surpass our understanding.
Wonders of the Lord life, by blessing yourself.
You did wonders for us in Egypt, miracles and marvels in the land of Pharaoh.
You led your people Israel out, forever to serve you in freedom.
When your children beheld your power, they praised you and gave you thanks. Freely they accepted your sovereignty, and Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you with joy.
And as we turn to page 44, we imagine those voices of the Israelites with Miriam and Moses joining ours as we sing Micha Mocha. We continue on the bottom of page 45 with Hashkivenu. So continue on page 49 with the Chetzi Kaddish. Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabba Be'amad yivrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechan u'v'yamechan u'chayidechol Beit Yisrael Before we rise for the Amidah, I'm going to do something that I've kind of loved doing ever since I was at Camp George. It's a long time ago. When we turn, I'm going to start singing the Adonai Sfatai Tiftach part, and I'm going to sing it about 4 or 5 times. The first time, I'd like you to kind of just take your time with it. Second time, if you're ready to join us for the Amidah, you can stand at that point. And then slowly, once you are ready, hopefully we'll have everybody standing by the 4th time that I start to sing it. Adonai, Adonai, Svatai Tiftach, Adonai, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imateinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zoker Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevei Gula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Mashiach Magim, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Elon Adonai, Kedoshim b'kol yom yehalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. We continue on page 55. Andrea, would you lead us under Gimel?
Where has this week vanished? Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished.
Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom?
On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burden that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide.
And now Shabbat is come. Can it help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time?
Can it contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of a frantic life? When all days abandon me, Shabbat abide.
Let me learn to pause, if only only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide. We continue together in the middle of page 60. Please join me. We gratefully acknowledge, eternal God, that you are our creator and preserver, the rock of our life and our protecting shield. We give thanks to you for our lives which are in your hands, for our souls which are in your keeping, for your wondrous providence and your continuous goodness, which you bestow upon us day by day. Truly your mercies never fail, and your love and kindness never cease. Therefore do we put our trust in you. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm praise your name in truth. Eternal our God, whose name is goodness, we give you thanks and praise. We continue at the top of page 63 with Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav. Take a few moments to pray the words of our hearts. We continue on page 66.
congratulate Emma and Sonia. They're keeping us right on time. When did you get here to get ready for tonight, Emma?
I got here around 7:15.
7:15, she had to be here for the service. And what about time? How much time did you need to practice, Sonia?
About half an hour.
A half hour. And you know what, I could ask some of you what time you left, or how much time you needed after work, or what time you had to have supper, because time is a part of our lives. Time dictates our lives. We need to know what time we do things, when there is time enough to do things, and if we have enough time to get everything done. So if we think about time, but we think about it in a Jewish world, it's very different. Immanuel Kant, a German philosopher who used to kind of put me to sleep when I read his works when I was in university, wrote, "We all walk around wearing rose-tinted glasses, and these glasses act as a filter on the world to influence how we understand it." I'd like to suggest to you that we walk around as Jews with glasses that look at time from a whole different perspective. And if we think about it and we understand what Jewish time is about, so much of what we do in our Jewish lives becomes more meaningful. Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote in his book, The Sabbath and Its Meanings in Modern Times, that Judaism is a religion of time, aiming at the sanctification of time. It teaches us to be attached to sacred events, to learn how to consecrate sanctuaries emerging from the magnificent stream of the year. So how do we teach that concept of Jewish time? In the parasha that we read tomorrow, Amor, God tells Moses to speak to the children of Israel and to speak to the children of Aaron, and each one is given a different set of rules. To the children of Aaron, he talks about, to the Kohanim, regulating their lives as priests, their role in overseeing the sanctuary, and which donations are acceptable. And we get into some difficult laws, the laws of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, laws that are very hard to understand at times. But to us, to the Bnei Israel, Moses is told about the Moadei Adonai, the sanctuaries of time of God. And the first sanctuary of time, the very first one mentioned in Amor that we are reading tomorrow, is the sanctuary of time called Shabbat. So if we think about what you know about Shabbat, and then I think about how I spend a good part of my time over the course of a year teaching our kids in Hebrew school who live Jewish lives, and teaching some amazing, amazing people who are joining us as new to Judaism, people who have become part of our people. And we try to teach them what Jewish time is, and it begins right at the beginning of time. Because I tell them it's really not 2022, it's 5782. And it's like, why? Because our time begins with God bringing us into this world, with God creating the world. And once we know that our time is based on God's creation, then everything else seems so natural. And then we're told about the times in this portion. Boy, if you want to know about Jewish holidays, read Leviticus 23, because we read about all those holidays. The Shalosh Regalim, the 3 times a year when our ancestors would go to the temple when it stood and bring their produce. And how today, when there is no more temple, we still celebrate that time, the Shalosh Regalim, but no longer bringing produce to the temple. But during Passover, celebrating our freedom. During Shavuot, standing at Sinai. And during Sukkot, building a hut that we will live in for 7 days, a sukkah. So Jewish time is so important, and isn't it so important that today, Amor is always read during a very significant time counting period, the time of counting the Omer. Because we count time, it's valuable to us. Each day from the second day of Passover, we have been counting because we are moving from the slavery that kept our bodies in bondage to the freedom that will free our souls when we stand at Sinai. And we get to that 50th day, and we stand at Sinai as our ancestors did, and as those who are new to the Jewish people will join us, as they, like Ruth, the book that we read, the Megillah that we read on the holiday, when Ruth says, "Whither thou goest, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God." And the times that you live and share and celebrate will be the times I live and celebrate. And every event in our Jewish lives has to be seen through those glasses, those Jewish tinted glasses. So when we marry, and we just did marriage with our class last night, and I said there are times you can't get married. For an Orthodox person, these first 32 days of counting the Omer, we can't get married, and we can't get married on Shabbat, and we can't get married on a holiday, because those times are so significant and special. That time has to remain sacred. So when you walk into a Jewish world, you have to look at time so differently. You have to look at how you're going to spend your time. And today, as we have now time to be together, now time to pray together and to count, and as we counted the candles of Hanukkah, and as we count the 7 days of Pesach and count down to hopefully when we can stop eating matzah, let us count how lucky we are that we are back as a minyan. Those 10 people that count so much, those 10 people that make up Kehillah, those 10 people that say, we count as a people and we will be here to support each other. So tomorrow we will read from Parashat Emor, and we'll be reminded, firstly and foremost, of that one holiday that comes around not once a year. It doesn't last for 50 days, but every week, 52 times a year, let us make time for Shabbat. Echad Ha'am, Asher Ginsburg, an early Zionist, said it perfectly. More than Israel has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept Israel. That is something that we have to value. That is something we have to understand. And when I lit the candles and I talked about time to look inward, always have Jewish time. Always look at the world through Jewish eyes. And thank you so much to all of you who have chosen to count time with us. Shabbat Shalom.
Eileen. Just as Arlene mentioned time, we are in the time where we count the days of the Omer. Hineni muchan zuman lekayim mitzvat aseh shel sefirat haomer kamu shekatuv batorah. Behold, I am prepared and ready to perform the mitzvah of counting the Omer, as it is written in our Torah. You are to count from the end of the rest day, from the end of the rest day, from the day you brought the waved Omer offering. They shall be 7 complete weeks. Until the end of the 7th week, you shall count 50 days. Our blessing ends with Al Sfirat HaOmer. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al Sfirat HaOmer. Hayom shmuna ve'esrim yom shehem arba'a shavuot la'omer. Today is the 28th day, which is 4 weeks of the Omer. We continue together on page 133 for the Misha Berach. Today we are thinking especially of Shirley Herman, Esther Vochenmarkt, Rick Valentin, Simon Green, Marlene Friedman, Linda Levenheck, Jack Kudlutz, Francis Van Tyne, Suzanne Schurstimson, Bernie McLennan, Harriet Lahman, Jill Rich, Ellen Becker, Nicola Proietti, Eliyahu Ben Yitzchak Vasara, Rebecca Bodbill, Parker Chiaco, Philip Shepard, Carl Katz, Nicole Hansen, Raina Rowan, Gila Noruzi, Madeline Kitson, Kathy Kitson, Sharon Burr, Dee Hickey, Lorraine DaCosta, Dr. Jack Rickman, Nettie Sambalovici, Adela Zur, Al Lofsky, Michael Freeman, Ann Steinbach, Erwin Milgram, Evelyn Tyndall, Amanda Schenk, Shaista Durrani, Harav Ilana Miriam Batchava, and Daniel Black. We're also thinking of all of those who are suffering during this time from COVID, as well as from any other stresses that are especially happening during this time. If there's anyone who you would like to say out loud for yourself or to hold them close to your hearts at this time, you are invited to do so. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We rise as we turn to page 149 for Elena. Aleina Shabeach Ladan HaKol, Latet Gedula Le'oser Bereshit, Asher Samchakenu Yachad et Shemo, V'gor Aleinu L'amik Malchuto, V'anachnu korim, U'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Notei Shamayim ve'yesed haaretz, U'moshav yikaro b'shamayim We join together on page 152 under reading Aleph. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. Blessed is the flame that burns in the hearts of secret places. Blessed is the heart with enough strength to stop its beating for our sake. Today we are observing yard sites for Bernard Greenbaum, father of Shelley Katz, grandfather of Jason and Lisa, Rose Sokolsky, sister of Arlene Botnick and Lorraine Chelsky, Hilda Summer, aunt of Lena Rule, Joan Padmore, sister of Mike Fick, Faye Laderman, mother of Doreen Levine, grandmother of Sean, Stacy, and Michael, Nathan Levy, grandfather of Harold, Connie Reisman, mother-in-law of Gail Blank, Eleanor Marie Comerford, mother of Sharon Burr, Dora Scher, mother of Suzanne Scher Stimson, Lieutenant Colonel Peter Desjardins, father of Gary Kugelbus, grandfather of Sarah, Monica, and Leah, Noah Chimalaj, uncle of Eleanor Stock and Bernie Chmielaj, great uncle of Marnie Stock, Sherry, and Ilana. Umberto Bassett, father of Nadia Citron, grandmother of Daniel. Alan Smith, husband of Yolanda. Bunny Brezer, mother of David Brezer, grandmother of Lindsay and Jordan. Esther Marovich, mother of Morty Myers. Juice Schwarzenberg, mother of Leo Van Tyne. Ethel Friedman, grandmother of Harvey. Marilyn Black, aunt of Rabbi Lawrence Englander. Leah Lubin, aunt of David Grossman. And David Hazan, father of Raymond. If you're observing your site from this list, or for anyone else that was not included in this week's list, if you would please rise. May their memories always be for a blessing. As together we turn to page 159 and rise in communal support and remembrance of those who have no one left to say for them. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'olma divrach yurtei v'yamech malchutei, b'chayechon v'yamechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kari v'imrim amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevarach v'olam v'amei omayah, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yihaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kedusha breichu. Le'ela mikol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imrin amen. Yehi shlomo rabbi Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imrin amen. Osei shalom b'namav, huya osei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol b'nei Adam, v'imrin amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. It is my pleasure to call Andrea Galambos up as our board representative to deliver the announcements.
Shabbat Shalom all. Nice to see you all. Thank you for the beautiful service, Emma and Sonia. I guess it was your time to shine and Arlene's time to shine as well. Thank you very much for your beautiful words. Just want to mention a couple of important services. Tomorrow, Saturday, May 14th. It's a special 10 o'clock a special family Shabbat service followed by barbecue, hot dog lunch outside. It's going to be beautiful, so see you all. The lunch is sponsored by the Garen Therick Memorial Fund, a young student that we lost too early involved in Bet Sefer Solel. And also for Bet Sefer parents, students, and teachers, Bet Sefer classes in person on Sunday, May 15, last session of this term until fall. And it starts at 10 a.m. in person, and then at 10:30 a.m. senior classes will join the school. At 10:45, ice cream and popsicle treats outside, including pizza lunch too. Lots of fun things, Arlene. You must be very busy. Also, Friday, May 27th at 8 p.m., it's a special service with board installation and awards Shabbat. And also Saturday, June 4th at 8 p.m., Tikkun Lei Shavuot service and program. Erev Shabbat Service at 8 p.m. We have many other things happening. You find them all on our Facebook and all the digital ways. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrea. As we turn to page 163, it is my pleasure to call Mike Fick for Kiddush. Please rise.
Now the whole universe, sky, earth, and all their array was completed. With the seventh day, God had ended the work of creation and rested with all work completed. And then God blessed the seventh day and called it holy, for with this day God had completed the work of creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,